Welcome to the video. I know the title is a little jarring, especially as I make Minecraft PvP content, and I only talked about Dark Souls 2 a week ago now, but I kind of just wanted to make a video on it. On it, I don't know, on why I love Dark Souls 3. Um, yeah, my first point is discussing why I love Dark Souls 3 is the music. The music of Dark Souls 3 is so grand and intense, and it's just so amazing. Like, it's become arguably the most iconic part of Dark Souls and Dark Souls 3 as a whole. You have boss themes such as Vort of the Boreal Valley, Ancient Wyvern, and Dance of the Boreal Valley, but all of which I just don't find so amazing and great to listen to. I'm where I'm willing to lose the fights just to listen to their music again. And don't get me wrong, like the music in all of the trilogy is great, but I think Dark Souls 3 does such a great way of the intensity of it. You really feel throughout the entire game that you're kind of like the last guy, like all of these people kind of you feel the intensity of this is the end of the trilogy, this is the last moment, this is all of it weighing down on your shoulders. It just works so well. And like I said, it's great. Everyone and their mother has heard War in the Boreal Valley at some point in their life. Arguably it is the most well known bit. To be fully honest, I might as well just play the theme for you because it's so commonly used at this point. Everyone knows it, but just so that people definitely know it, I will play it so that you understand the grandeur of the music. If you haven't played Dark Souls before, what I am expecting one or two people to have not done, right? And you can hear the level of intensity to the music. It's just... I'm just going to be quiet for a bit and let this play. Anyway. As you heard, it is such a great song. But, I do also want to talk about my other points. And the other point about the music is comparing it to Dark Souls 1 and 2, where, yes, they have some really impactful, heavy, intense music, but the main vibe throughout the game is it's eerie, it's mysterious, it's calm. It's just a contrast to Dark Souls 3, which in my opinion makes the game stand out so much, and it's not a negative to stand out. To avoid it sounding like I'm just going to talk about the music and be a little nerd about the music of the game, my second point is it doesn't actually help, is the atmosphere and design of the game. Unlike Dark Souls 2, which is a dark, lost theme of the game, in my opinion, everything's just abandoned, everything's decaying, the curse is really there. Dark Souls 3 has an ethereal feel where everything's at that transition point. It is really that gateway in a sense. You can feel that after this game, this is the ending of the franchise. There is such a dramatic difference between them where you feel, I think, especially after playing Dark Souls 1 and 2 and then 3, there's such not an emptiness, but you feel like the game is moving on as you're moving through it. It's just such a brilliant atmosphere, in my opinion. And the place that does this the best is the Boreal Valley. It's just the absolute peak of this. After travelling through the dungeon opening to the side of that crescent moon and the stars painted in town, it's perfect. And there is no better sight in the entire game, in my opinion, And the fans will know exactly what I'm describing because it's just similar to Vault of the Boreal Valley. It's just such an iconic part of the game. It's just something that has been so intrinsically related to it that you kind of can't think Dark Souls 3 without, in my opinion, without the music of Vault of the Boreal Valley or without this sigh as you exit the dungeon. The third point is that Dark Souls 3 has some of my favourite bosses in the entire franchise. And I'll be honest, I went into Dark Souls 3 thinking it wouldn't top, none of the bosses would top Lost Sinner or Fume Knight for me. And none of them did, but they came surprisingly close when I first played the game. The main bosses for this was Nameless King, Champion Gundyr, and Dragon Slayer Armor. I know Blasphemy, no DLC's bosses, but I'm getting to that in the future. But like back to the original three, these three weren't necessarily the hardest three bosses, but each felt like I was learning, developing, improving, and they were just so fun and exciting to improve against. Like, it's something that I've always enjoyed with boss fights is when I feel like I have to develop myself as a person while playing these games. Like, I have to improve my skills to beat them. It just makes it such a fun challenge. It makes it so it just makes it so much better. And like, don't get me wrong, the DLC bosses I enjoyed. I enjoyed Sister Frieda, I enjoyed Slave Knight Geld, but I don't think they were as fun as the other three I've mentioned. And some of the other bosses in the base game, they were impressive, they were intense, and I felt great after winning. Don't get me wrong. I'm not some snob. They were great fights, but I think to me, it was more grandeur and difficulty than it was exciting gameplay for me. Like, I am not going to clown on anyone who finds Slave Knight Geld or Sister Frieda as the best bosses in the franchise. That's up to you. I find Lost Sinner the best fight in the entire franchise, and it's arguably not. It's not, but I find it so enjoyable, and I'm not going to clown on anyone else for finding those bosses fun. I just found them lackluster, especially because I saw so much built up around them. Like, and don't get me wrong, the story for those are great. The story for all of these is great. I haven't talked about the story in any of the franchises because I'm going to talk about it probably next week, guys. I'll be honest. I'll probably release a video on Dark Souls 1. What I'll talk about the story of the Dark Souls trilogy and that. But yeah, so the video doesn't get too long. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you consider liking and subscribing. Small content thing, I know. It's annoying to hear, but it would help me. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. I really would. Anyway, that's Sproggy out. Thanks for watching again. Yeah. I'll be honest here again. Didn't really expect my talk to just go slightly over into this next fight, so I'm going to talk over it. As I said, thanks for watching and all of that. This is just because I want to show off my skills. I really enjoy PvP. I think I've improved at it over the last couple months at this point. I am also going to say I am starting like a proper training arc. I'll be probably streaming each session I do. So follow me on Twitch. It's Sproggy on Twitch too. So Sproggy on Twitch, that's it. So if you guys want to watch me train with some of the best PvPers I know at certain skills, the main of these, I'll probably make a video on it at the end. The main skills for this that I'm hoping to end up achieving is better sword PvP, because it's my favourite PvP style. Better cart. I want to actually learn how to cart PvP. I really enjoy cart. It's such a fun one to watch, and I think I want to learn it. And better macing. I think learning how to mace would also be pretty good. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. Please like and subscribe.